mo kí gbogbo ojú tó ń wò mí káàkiri ayé, mo kí wa lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbà nínú ilé yìí. Mo kí wa pé a kú déédé àsìkò tá a wà yìí, àsìkò ìfaradà nílùú Nàìjíríà. Mo fọlọ́ búra pé ìfaradà ni, torí pé erin méjì tó ń jà, orí àwa tá a jẹ́ koríko, orí wa ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, ló ti ń tẹ̀lé. Àwọn erin méjì tí wọ́n ń jà, orí àwa koríko tá a jẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù, orí wa ní ìyẹ́ ẹ̀ ti wá. Erin méjì wo? Ìjọba àtàwọn cabals, àwọn jẹgúdújẹrá ìlú Nàìjíríà, tí wọ́n sọ pé dandan sẹ́ẹ̀ àfi káwọn máa jẹ Nàìjíríà ọ̀hún báwọn ti ṣe ń jẹrun tẹ́lẹ̀. Bó tẹ̀ tí òun kò jẹ́ pé ìjọba tá à ń sọ yìí o, 99.9% wọn náà làwọn cabals yẹn náà tí wọ́n jọ ń jẹ́. Péréte báyìí la lè rí tó yàtọ̀ láàrin wọn, so ìkan náà jọ ní gbogbo wọn. Bẹ̀tà wa tá a jẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù níyà yẹn náà ń fi pa lórí. Iye tí sẹ́nétọ̀ máa repo, iye náà ni mẹ̀kúnnù tí ò sẹ́ nǹkan kan máa repo. Àwọn tí wọ́n ní okòwò kéréje wàhálà tó dé bá àwọn olókòwò kéékèèké yìí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí ń ti ṣọ́ọ̀bù. Kò sọgbọ́n kó má rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n kíní kan ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Niger tí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa fojú inú wò. Ìjọba tí wọ́n gbà ní Niger, ṣé mọ̀ pé ìlanilójú ńlá ló jẹ́ fún gbogbo Áfíríkà? Ẹ sọ fún mi, ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà wo, country Áfíríkà wo, African country wo ni kò sí àwọn Boko Haram yìí, ni kò sí àwọn terrorist, kò sí. But ẹ wá sọ fún mi, àwọn foreign countries, àwọn developed countries mélòó láti ríru wọn tán ti operate? None. Niger tí wọ́n gbà, tí àwọn ológun gbàjọba ń bẹ̀, ibẹ̀ láṣìírí ti tú. Burkina Faso ti tú àṣírí yẹn wípé àwọn táwa ń pè ní terrorist, wọn kì í ṣe terrorist o. Àwọn tí wọ́n plant wọn síbẹ̀, àwọn westerners ni. Àwọn western countries táwa tagi ní developed countries, àwọn ni wọ́n plant àwọn Arabi yẹn síbẹ̀. Kí ni tó ṣe plant wọn? Torí àti bá máa exploit wa, torí àti bá máa make sure pé wọ́n wá nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì inú lẹ̀ẹ́lẹ̀ tó wà lọ́dọ̀ wa. Gbogbo bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí táwọn Boko Haram wà Sambisa forest alone, Sambisa forest nìkan wọ́n dárúkọ nǹkan àlùmọ́ọ́nì tó wà ń bẹ̀ bíbà. Why táwọn Boko Haram fi ṣú sí Sambisa forest? Kò sídìí kankan tó fi ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, torí pé bí táwọn paymaster wọn ní kí wọ́n lọ nìyẹn. Ó dẹ̀ tún wá ní ìmọ̀ àwọn olórí Nàìjíríà kan nínú ní wíwà bẹ́ẹ̀ tán wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ló ṣe jẹ́ pé gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ táwa bá là ń gbé, pàbó ló ń já sí lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Gbogbo plan tí Nàìjíríà bá ti plan, tàbí African countries kọ̀ọ̀kan bá ti plan pé a máa lọ dọ̀yà àwọn Arabi, báwo ni wọ́n ṣe ń gbọ́? Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe ń gbọ́? Àwọn ni wọ́n dẹ àwọn táwa ń pè terrorist kọ̀ọ̀kan, àwọn ni wọ́n dẹ wọ́n síbẹ̀. Wọ́n fi wọ́n ṣe security ara wọn. Ẹ̀yin máa bára àlùjá kan mára yé tiwa, àwọn dẹ̀ ń wa àlùmọ́nì lọ nínú ilẹ̀ wa ń bẹ̀. Olórí àwọn ológun tó gbàjọba ní Burkina Faso, èyí tó fi sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tó wọ́n nà wá. Láìpẹ́ yìí, ó ní pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì France ló lọ sí Ghana. Pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì Ghana sọ panápaná ọ̀rọ̀ sí i. Èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Niger, ọlọ́mọ ọmọ jẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ láti fi la Africans lójú ni, láti fi la àwa ọmọ Áfíríkà, láti fi la wa lójú ni. so that pé fúnra wa la máa liberate ara wa kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn the so called foreigners tí àwọn olórí wa tí wọ́n answer fún. We can see it clearly that ìjà táwọn olórí wa ń bá wọn tí wọ́n ń dìtẹ̀ gbàjọba ìjà tí wọ́n ń bá wọn jà kì í ṣèjà ìfẹ́ aráàlú o, ìjà ìfẹ́ ara tiwọn kírú ẹ̀ bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn ni. Ó ní ìjà tó ń bá wọn jà. Bọ̀ mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ pe àwa Yorùbá ṣàkíyèsí kan. Àwọn Fúlàní Tinumbu pè wọ́n jọ ní last week. Gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ Islamic clerics láàrin wọn àtọba ó pè wọ́n jọ. Ó ní kí wọ́n lọ sí Niger, kí wọ́n lọ negotiate, kí wọ́n lọ dialogue pẹ̀lú ẹni tó dìtẹ̀ gbàjọba ń bẹ̀. Fúlàní lọ, wọ́n lọ bọ́kùnrin yẹn, wọ́n lọ bá dialogue, wọ́n mèdè tí wọ́n sọ síra wọn, wọ́n bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ní orí tún. ṣó mọ̀ pé Fúlàní ni wá, ṣó mọ̀ pé north làwa tá a wáyìí, northerners làwa tá a wáyìí. Tógun ìbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa jẹ àwa northerners irun o, torí ìfẹ́ tí wọ́n ní síra wọn, torí ìgbọ́rọ̀ síra wọn lẹ́nu tí wọ́n ní. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ọkùnrin yẹn ojú wọ́lẹ̀ ni ó lóun ti gbọ́. On this very Saturday ni mo gbọ́ announcement yẹn pé the man is now ready láti dialogue pẹ̀lú Nigeria at ECOWAS. And I begin to think wípé tó bá lọ jẹ́ pé Benin Republic ni wọ́n fẹ́ kógun jà, 70% of Benin Republic are Yorubas, ọmọ Oòduà ni wọ́n. Ẹ̀yin ọba Yorùbá, ṣé wọ́n lè kó ẹ̀yin bọ́n ṣe kó àwọn ọba tiwọn ní north? Ṣé wọ́n lè kó yín bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kẹ́ ẹ lọ dialogue pẹ̀lú wọn ní Benin? Ṣé ẹ fira yín lẹ́bẹ̀ẹ́? Ṣé ẹ lè gbọ́ràn bẹ́ẹ̀? Ṣé ẹ lè wùwà ẹ̀? Ṣé ẹ wùwà wípé Yorùbá tòótọ́ ni yín, gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọba wa ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ṣé ẹ wùwà pé ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ lẹ̀ Yorùbá lóòótọ́? Ṣé ẹ wùwà pé ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn ọmọ yín lẹ̀ Yorùbá? Àwọn northerners yẹn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wọn dójú ikú, wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wọn débi pé tí wọ́n bá bára wọn sọ correct. Ẹsẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ọkùnrin yẹn sọ pé òun ti jọ wà wàhálẹ̀, kò sí problem mọ́, àwọn ready láti dialogue. Torí wípé wọ́n mọ̀ pé ó máa pa northerners lára, àwa dẹ̀ la máa wà at advantage àwa westerners, because ìkógunjà wọn 90% pé wọ́n gbàgbára lọ́wọ́ wọn ni the northerners. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ kírú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lẹ́lẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n pe àrònú àtẹ̀jọ ara wọn, wọ́n bára wọn sọ, wọ́n stop ẹ̀, wọ́n ní kò sògùn mọ́, kò sọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́. Ọkùnrin yẹn lóhùn tó gbé tẹ́lẹ̀ ó mú rẹ̀lẹ̀ padà pé òun ready láti dialogue. Ẹjọ́ ṣáwa lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ṣáwọn ọba wa ṣàbújá tí wọ́n lọ kì í ṣàbújá kan lọ gbowó ni. Gbogbo tó bá máa kó balẹ̀ north àwọn máa ń protect ẹ̀ ni. Gbogbo tó bá máa mú wọn sọ pé ìparun dé bá wọn àwọn máa ń prevent ẹ̀ ni. Ẹ̀rí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wa, aburú ṣojú wa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí sọmọ Yorùbá látijọ́ tí wọ́n ti ń gbé ọba tán ti ń gbé joyè táwọn esment ti ń gbé wa. Ẹjọ́ ọba mélòó ló jáde sọ̀rọ̀ rí? Ẹni tó kù lórí ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ ni, mi ìgbórí lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Yọ ẹ́ ṣe bàbá kábíyèsí o, mo ṣe bàforí adé, ìtumú tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni mò ń sọ ìsà, mi ìgbórí. Bókọ̀ràn yẹn Olúwo lọ fẹ́ Fúlàní wọlé ni. Bókọ̀ràn yẹn Olúwo ní Fúlàní tán bá ti lénu yín ẹ máa bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tòun níwò. bó kọ̀ràn yẹn asẹ́yìn tìlú sẹ́yìn ó ní kí Fúlàní free láti ṣe anything láìpẹ́ láwọn yẹn dẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ya há ọmọ wọn ìtọ́gba 40 million lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀tàn tó tún padà kú sí Ìgbòho dé sẹ́yìn ní gbogbo city tí Ìgbòho káàkiri ṣe rally it is only that sẹ́yìn it was only that sẹ́yìn nìkan ni ó jẹ́ kí Ìgbòho wọlé yàtọ̀ fẹ́kọ̀ọ́ n tó wá ń jà fún ló padà ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí. Now it's a lesson to the Yoruba leaders. Ẹ wo báwọn Haúsá, ẹ wo báwọn Northerners, ẹ wo bọ́n ṣe ṣera wọn, ẹ wo bọ́n ṣe tọ́jú ara wọn, ẹ wo bí Tinumbu gbọ́n ó wò pé jẹ́ ẹran ọmọ náà síná. Wọ́n constitute àwọn Northerners yẹn títí mọ́ba àwọn Islamic cleric wọ́n rán wọn lọ after ECOWAS meeting tán ṣe. Definitely indoor meeting tí wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀ náà ti parí ọ̀rọ̀. ECOWAS summit tó ṣe láìpẹ́ ní last week wọ́n lé wọ́n padà lé gbogbo pressmen jáde wọ́n ṣe indoor closed door meeting tó ṣe àbọ̀ díẹ̀ la gbọ́ pé káwọn constitute àwọn Islamic cleric káwọn constitute ọba kan kó wọn pọ̀ kan lọ kan tún lọ bọ́kùnrin yẹn kò fún wọn lọ́ndíẹ̀sì tẹ́lẹ̀ ń gbòòrò àwọn bàbá ẹ̀ torí láwà ní lálá ara ẹ̀ wálẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣèdè síra wọn wọ́n jọ parí ẹ̀ tùbínùbí. That is Northerners for you. Cooperation. Ẹjọ́ àwa Westerners ń kọjá rí. Wọ́n ṣojú yíyàn wà mẹ́bọ ẹ̀yin tá a pèlú lórí. Látorí councillor lórí president most of you people you are part of us. Kí lẹ ṣe sílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Jẹ́ ìrántí wa náà. Ṣé yà tó jẹ Yorùbá ṣé kò jẹ́ wá gbé? Lójú yín ẹ̀ dádé sórí o ẹ̀ ń rọ̀ lẹ̀kẹ̀ sọ́rùn o ẹ̀yin lọ́balọ́ba àwọn tẹ́ ẹ jọba lé lórí aburú ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn lójoojúmọ́ you people refuse to talk ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ jó lóṣèlú ṣojú yín ni wọ́n ṣe ń yan ìran yín mẹ́bọ you people refuse to talk. Northerners àwọn ṣàṣeyọrí pápápá torí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Biafra land kò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn. Ṣé Niger àti Nàìjíríà jà àbí Niger àti ECOWAS jà kò ní ba north gan kó tó dé sàlẹ̀ bí nǹkan á ti run ní north torí pé àwọn súnmọ́ra wọn bọ́dà ara wọn ni wọ́n sáré paná ẹ̀tẹ̀ wọ́n sáré paná ogun tó bá jẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe é lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kó máa rókì nínú ẹ̀yìn ọba wa ìpèníjà ló jẹ́ fún yín ọmọ yín Ìgbòho ó ti di fugitive ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń lo Àbújá ṣe é dárọ̀ ẹ̀ sọ ọmọ tí wọ́n ní kán gbé wá l'Amẹ́ríkà àwọn fọwọ́ bò títí tó fi wà bẹ́ẹ̀dì sí wọ́n jẹ́ kán gbé lọ o Abba Kyari ó wà níbi tó tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ sí kílẹ̀ gbọ́ pa ẹ̀ mọ́ torí pé ọmọ tí wọ́n ní torí pé ọmọ tí wọ́n kì í ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀ rẹ̀ káwọn filẹ̀kẹ̀ sídìí ọmọ ẹlòmíì àṣìṣe Ìgbòho làwọn rán mẹ́nu kiri ẹ ń bọ́ba ẹ ń bújòyè ẹ ń ṣe kinní kan dáadáa tó ṣe àrántí rárá. mo yà lọ́bẹ̀ ní yẹn kọ́ lọ́rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ lénìí kó jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ fáwọn àwa Westerners wípé ẹ wo Northerners bó ṣe ń ṣera wọn ẹ wo bó ṣe ń ṣera wọn ṣé tó bá jẹ́ àwa ni nísàlẹ̀ ń bí kó jẹ́ Benin ni ECOWAS fẹ́ dojú ogun kọ tó jẹ́ pé tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ á kọ́ pa gbogbo Lagos State irun náà á kọ́ affect Lagos State náà á ṣe wà affect àwọn tó kù ṣáwa Yorùbá lè ṣé kìí ṣe excuses la máa mú wá Ọlọ́run á ṣe dáadáa fún wa. Now mo sọ pé n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Niger is a blessing in disguise to Africans. Ojú Africans ti là gan-an nísìn. In fact, àwọn olórí wa ti wá build the confidence inú ara wọn láti máa kí fún àwọn tó so called the western countries. Ẹ jẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ látorí president Ghana. President France wá kí ṣé Macron àbí kí náà ń pè bí macaroni dẹ̀ ló lóhùn jẹ́ ni lórí ìdúró báyìí president Ghana dẹ̀ lálé ẹ̀ tí mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ tí mi gbọ́ I was like ibo ni máa ti build confidence ó dẹ̀ lálé ẹ̀ tí gbogbo ayé ń gbọ́ pé ó gbọ́ eléyìí kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ this one no be ṣeréṣeré máa yẹn ẹ máa rí lára ẹ̀ pé kò wà okay pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí president Ghana sọ but they are both president ìlú yìí lẹ máa ní kó má wà mọ́ ó pass insult sí lára ó dẹ̀ fi system irú ẹ̀ náà pè ní euphemism when you are passing insult in a normal manner or in a respectable ways in tó pass lára ẹ̀ rí pé ó pass messages tó strong gan ẹ rí pé president Ghana pass ẹ̀ Macron ò lè sọ kó tí táwọn náà ṣe dáa tó ṣe gbọ́ ni mò ń bọ̀ ẹ gbọ́ fídíò yẹn ká tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé sí.
Some people around here. I think there is a fundamental misstatement of the issue in the question. We can no longer continue to make policy for ourselves, in our country, in our region, in our continent, on the basis of whatever support the Western world or France or the European Union can give us. It will not work. It has not worked and it will not work. Our responsibility is to charter a path which is about how we can develop our nations ourselves. It is not right for a country like Ghana, 60 years after independence, to still have its health and education budgets being financed on the basis of the generosity and charity of European taxpayers. By now, we should be able to finance our basic needs ourselves. And if we are going to look at the next 60 years as a period of transition, a period whereby we can stand on our own feet, our perspective has not to be what the French taxpayer decides to do with whatever surpluses that they have in France. They're welcome. They're appreciated. Whatever interventions that the French taxpayer through their governments make to us are appreciated. We're not going to let a gift horse in the mouth. But this continent, and with all that has happened, is still today the repository of at least 30% of the most important minerals of the world. It's a continent of vast, arable and fertile lands. It has the youngest population of any of the continents in the world. So it has the energy and the dynamism. We have seen it. These young men who are showing so much resilience and ingenuity in crossing the Sahara, finding ways to go across with rickety boats across the Mediterranean to those energies. We want to have those energies working inside our countries. And we're going to have those energies working in our countries if we begin to build systems that tell the young people of our country that their hopes, their opportunity are right here with us. Migration and the movement of people is being presented in a manner which suggests that somehow it's a new phenomenon. There's nothing new about it. It's as old as man, the movement of people. And it has always been linked to the same thing. The failure of where you are to provide you with an opportunity, so you move somewhere else. Those of you who are familiar with 19th century European history would know that the biggest wave of immigration in 19th century Europe, the latter part of it, came from Ireland and from Italy. Waves upon waves, generations of Italians and the Irish people left their countries to seek the American paradise, largely because Ireland was not working, Italy was not working. Today, you don't hear it. Italian young people are in Italy. Irish young people are in Ireland. We want young Africans to stay in Africa. And how are they? And it means that we have to get away from this mindset of dependence. This mindset about what can France do for us. France will do whatever it needs to do for its own sake. And when those coincide with ours, tant mieux, as the French people say. But our main responsibility as leaders, as citizens, is what we need to do to grow our own countries. What are the institutions that work that would allow us to have good governance, to have accountable governance, to make sure that the monies that are placed at the disposal of leaders are used for the interests of the state and not for those of the leaders, to have systems that allow for accountability, that allow for diversity, that allow for people to be able to express themselves and contribute to fashioning the public will and the public interest. Our concern should be with what do we need to do in this 21st century to move Africa away from being cap in hand and begging for aid, for charity, for handouts. The African continent, when you look at its resources, should be giving monies to other places. We have huge wealth on this continent, in our own country of Ghana. And we need to have a mindset that says, we can do it. Others have done it. We can also do it. And once we have that mindset, we will see it as a liberating factor for ourselves. We keep talking about how it was that Koreans, Malaysians, Singaporeans, who got their independence at the same time as us. We're told of that at the time of Ghanaian independence, per capita Ghanaian income was higher than that of Korea. Today, Korea is part of the first world. So is Malaysia. So is Singapore. What happened? Why did they make that transition? And 60 years after independence, we are where we are. Those are the matters that should concern all of us as Africans, as Ghanaians. And not, when I say so, with the greatest of respect to the French president. I think that the cooperation of France is something that I am, as you know, a strong friend of France. I am Francophile. So I don't have any difficulty with that. But I'm talking about our own propulsion, what we need to do to get our countries to work so that we can create the conditions that would allow our young people to forego this hazardous effort to get to Europe. They're not going there because they want to. They're going there because they don't believe they have any opportunities in our countries. So that should be our focus. And I believe that with that if we change that mindset of dependence, that mindset which is contingent on aid and charity, we would see that in the decades ahead of us, the full flowering of the African peoples will take place. And that new African personality that was talked about at the time of our independence will become real and imminent in our time. That's what I'm saying. I hope that I'm not upsetting the questioner or even some of my friends who are here. But these are my strongly held beliefs. And that is the reason why I've adopted as the slogan of my presidency, of my period in the Supreme Office of Ghana, that we want to build a Ghana beyond aid, a Ghana which is independent, which is self-sufficient, that is capable of standing on its own feet and building its own life. We can do it if we have the correct mindset to do so. Mr. President, those are my contributions.
My people, I don't hear so. Na Ghana president be that so. Na African.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ padà. Ẹ bá mi pè President Tinumbu pé ṣé wọ́n gbọ́ nǹkan tí President Ghana sọ. Ó láwọn ò need help France rárá. Ẹni tí France bá máa ṣe help kí yẹn jẹ́ àfikún ni. Pé kí France má wà bóbú àwọn bí rárá. Pé àwọn ò need help wọn. Kò yẹ kó jẹ́ wípé káwọn tó ṣe anything kó jẹ́ pé àwọn máa depend lórí European countries. Ojú àwọn African leaders kọ̀ọ̀kan ti ń là kọ́ ló ń wá jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn gbogbo African leaders kọ́ ló ń jẹ́ kójú gbogbo yín làdílẹ̀ kádẹ̀ take the bulls by the horn kọ́ ló ń jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe ń ta. The man said tí àwọn bá tún lù ṣe ni ó ní kò ní sírísì táwọn èèyàn fi máa kúrò ní country àwọn lọ síbòmíì which is correct. Ó ní máa yẹn kúrò ó ní young man yẹn kúrò ní Ghana ó ń lọ sí France nítorí wípé ó rò ó rí pé gbogbo facilities tóun nídìí wà ní France kò sí ní Ghana fóun. The same thing happens to Nigeria. Why are we going to train a doctor? Or why must we train a medical doctor ní Nigeria ń bí tó máa wá ṣetán tó máa rí pé Nigeria ò dáa fóun láti practice, that Nigeria is not suitable for him to practice, unless tó ń bá dé Saudi, unless tó ń bá dé America, unless tó ń bá dé Europe, torí pé gbogbo facilities láti operate gbogbo nǹkan tó lè jẹ́ káyé rọrùn fún ló wà láwọn ibi tó ń sọ yìí. Ìwòsàn tó wá yẹ káwa gbà ní owó péréte níbí torí pé aláwọn ọmọ tó wà competent a wà tún sọ di owó ńlá wà mówó ńlá a lọ fi máa gba the same ìwòsàn lọ́wọ́ the same ọmọ wa tá a train Nigeria ní abroad nítorí pé kò sí constitution environment fún láti operate ní Nigeria wa bí. Tí àwọn ìjọba wa bá lè rori bí Ghana president ṣe lórí yẹn ibà má dáa. We are independent. Are we really independent truly? We should ask ourselves. Are we still not depending on borrowing money from those African, those Western countries? Káàkiri. Our own money, tatun lọ padà yá. Even when they borrow it, they squander it. It's time we face the reality and know. Ká jókòó ká rò pé ṣé lóòótọ́ la fẹ́ ṣèlú àbáwá jẹ̀lúrun. All African leaders must sit down, most especially Nigeria local emi. Nigerian leaders must sit down and ask yourself, are you alleviating our poverty? Are you alleviating our problems? Or you want to add more? Ẹ ṣe policy tó máa rọ aráàlú lọ́rùn. Ẹ ṣe policy tó máa mú wa dúró sí Nigeria tá ní máa yá láti kúrò ní Nigeria. Ọmọ America mélòó lẹ́rí tó ń sá lọ káàkiri kó ń lo ẹ̀. Go to Nigeria embassy l'America. Nigerians lẹ máa bá bẹ̀. Americans mélòó lẹ máa bá. Àfi Americans tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ní nǹkankan ṣe Nigeria tó dẹ̀ máa tó padà sílùú ẹ̀ pàápàá. In Nigeria embassy they will never ask America pé kó wá proof ties ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú country. Kó wá proof pé òun ò ní sá lọ tó bá dé Nigeria. Kó wá proof pé òun padà lọ America lóòótọ́. Kí ló fẹ́ wá ṣe ń bí? What is here tó fẹ́ wá ṣe? Kí ló wà bí tí ò sí ìlú ẹ̀? But when you get to America embassy, they will want you to convince them that you are coming back to your country. Wípé ò ní lọ constitute ní sáàsì country àwọn. They will tell you to prove your ties with your country. So ní landed property, so ní kíní corporate, so máa padà wá. If you are unable to convince them, they will reject you. They will deny you of that visa. And they will never return your visa fee. Even when they grant you that visa, and you get to their airport, you get to their arrival, wọ́n á máa scrutinize orí èèyàn látòkè délẹ̀ tó bá tún ṣetán náà wọ́n ní ṣe sọ́rí. Ta ló kọ̀ sẹ̀? Àwa la sọra wa onígbá la sọgbà ara wa di ìkólẹ̀ tàjẹ́ kan máa fi wá kólẹ̀. Ṣé bọ́mọ ilé ẹran ni wá gbà kan ṣáà ti gbàgbé ni. Nígbà táwọn òyìnbó yẹn tí wọ́n wá ṣàtìkò ń bí láyé Ghana must go, Nigeria must go náà sọ̀rọ̀ dáńsì in Ghana. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ Nigeria naira kì í ṣe ẹgbẹ́ bàbá Ghana cedi. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mú 50,000 di Ghana nígbà kan ẹ lè lo dídí oṣù mẹ́ta ń bẹ̀ ẹ wà ní the best hotel wọn just Nigeria 50,000 naira. You will be lodging you can lodge in their best hotel, 5-star even 7-star hotel. Tẹ́lẹ̀ máa jẹun oṣù mẹ́ta tẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa gba ṣéǹjì padà bọ̀ èlò lówó wọn compared to Nigerian naira. Kéèyàn kó $50,000 dání sìn lọ sí Ghana ṣé kò ní jẹun oṣù mẹ́ta $50,000 owó wa jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ń gbà yẹn. nígbà tẹ́yìn jẹgudu jẹra dé ńkọ́ ẹ bá wa sọ di wèrè ẹ mọ ìtàn ra dọ́là kan sí kò ní yà mí lẹ́nu lọ́la tí n bá pọ́ kó di 1000 naira. Ghana ẹbẹ̀ dọ́là nígbà kan dọ́là nígbà kan 2 to 1 ni 2 dollars to 1 naira nígbà kan òun àti pọ́ùn náà jọdọ́gba pọ́ùn kan 200 naira lẹ́nìí kọ́ ẹ mọ̀ bí tẹ́ bá yé dé ẹ̀jà lẹ́jà ń jẹ́ sọ́ra everybody bá kiri everybody ti wá turn to criminals látòrí leaders dáwà tán lead nobody cares about that country anymore tó bá máa wó kó wó làwọn èèyàn wá ń bá kiri sìn tí kì í bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ our national monument in ti Nàìjíríà fi ń ṣọrọ̀ ajé individual kan dẹ̀ kọ́lé ó dẹ̀ mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ lọ kọ́ àwọn ẹwà àwọn refineries tó ń kọ́ kiri náà àwọn kan wọ́n ti kọ́ kí náà pé ibi tó ń kó sí wọ́n láwọn tanks tó ń build kiri tí wọ́n ń kó sínú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń rọ epo petrol ni diesel ni kí náà tún wọ́n rọ síbẹ̀ káàkiri wọ́n wá ń gbé mọ́tò wọn wá ń tà lọ́wọ́ ara tiwọn. When you ask them, they will tell you Nigeria has failed them. If you say money is in the pipeline and they want to go to that pipeline and take the money, ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní gbogbo àwọn francophone countries we are lucky our own is not like that. àwa làwọn àtẹ̀pọ̀ wa tàgbò wa sápò kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ láwọn francophone countries. France ló ń bá wọn mójútó ọrọ̀ ajé wọn whatever foreign reserves tán bá ní France ló máa gbé pamọ́ tán bá ní ìdòwò yẹn wọ́n máa lọ yá lọ́wọ́ France àwọn wọ́n lọ yá jáde lọ́wọ́ France as if they are subservient to them wọ́n dẹ̀ láwọn fún wọn ní independent. ìgbà tí Nàìjíríà sì rí pé báwọn olórí wa ṣe ń ṣeré oníkálukú yá ń lọ opportunity forget pé corruption ni kò sí tó kàn wọ́n ìbá àdàrú gbogbo àwọn tó yẹ ká fi ṣọrọ̀ ajé epo tán láwọn import wọlé náà níbo náà tà sí àwọn olóńpówó ẹ̀ kí náà fowó ẹ̀ ṣe and why must we import at the first instance kí ló dé tí refineries wa ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ torí pé the rate of corruption has got to the peak. Tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ bá ya máàkì owó pé kán fi tún ṣe àwọn tó sọ tó lówó ló sọ tó lówó because owó yẹn àwọn kan ló máa pín. That is why the country is not working. ẹ wá arákùnrin odindi ilé kan ló kọ́ ó dẹ̀ níbi tó ti ń refine epo specially tí Nàìjíríà ṣe tì òun ṣe in a crude way ó dẹ̀ ya lọ kọ́ àwọn safety tank ó lọ underground ló fi àwọn tanks ṣe tó ń rọ epo sí 35,000 litres 150,000 litres bó ṣe ń jìbù tó rọ síbẹ̀ nìyẹn nígbà tán bá refine ẹ̀tàn ọ̀tọ̀ ní diesel ọ̀tọ̀ ní kerosene ọ̀tọ̀ ní petrol kọ́wọ́ tó ó dẹ̀ ti sá lọ ìyàwó náà rí mú ó dẹ̀ láwọn boys tó ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ báwo ẹ fẹ́ dájọ́ yẹn wọn á ló jẹ́ po bu àbí ìtàwọn olórí wa ń bù kọ́ kí ni kọ́ ṣe sáwọn yẹn gbogbo àwọn tó ní oil blocks wà lọ́wọ́ tó pin sọ́wọ́ ń kọ́ kí ni kọ́ ṣe fáwọn ó lè gbé ò lè gbà ẹ wọ arákùnrin yẹn mò ń bọ̀.
Around Tamara Street in the Yeniswe-Guinea area of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital. The owner, Israel Oke, is reported to be on the run after the Joint Task Force, Operation Delta Safe, acting on credible information, arrived to the area. The officers enter the first building where a floor tile is removed to reveal a reservoir of illegally refined diesel. The floor tiles seem to conceal more of the product as another is found in the second-story building. the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe has chosen to spread its dragnet to the city of Yenagoa. Now, this looks like an ordinary building on the streets, but it is much more than that. And over there is a poultry with week-old chicks. But much more than that, it has proven to be a mini depot of some sort where illegally refined products are stored. A third reservoir is also discovered in the building housing a poultry.
A private building that is being used as a reservoir, a dump, or a mini depot is housing about 3 reservoirs with a cumulative quantity of about 35,000 liters of illegally refined products suspected to be AGO. We have 3 buildings and 3 dugout pits with also a vehicle carrying jerrycans, about 38 jerrycans, also filled with the illegally refined products. The product here, apart from constituting health hazard to people that are living there, is also a safety hazard for other people that are living within the community in case of fire or any other hazard.
3 suspects are arrested by the JTF, while the wife of the runaway owner of the building watches close by.
Just product he's selling to feed his family and his wife. We didn't kill anybody, neither did we do any kidnappers. We are selling product to feed our family. I never knew it's an illegal job. Now that it has happened, I don't know what next. Our fate now lies in the hand of the military and in God.
I'm just an errand boy. He do call me in the morning, come, let's move. That is the only thing I do. Ever since I finished my school, there's no job and nothing, and this is the only business that I use in supporting my family. Normally, I make 10,000 a month and little expenses that I gain from customers.
The maritime component commander of the JTF says protecting critical national assets is a duty to fatherland.
OPDS mandate is to protect the oil and gas installation product within the joint operation area so that the country can gain effectively from the assets. So it's a warning for those that are in this business to desist from it, but if they are not ready to desist from it, we'll surely catch up with them and the law will take appropriate action against them.
Time tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà, mo sọ pé kí President Tinumbu pe gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe illegal refinery yìí. If this man can be refining petrol, kerosene, diesel to the tune of 30-something thousand liters tí wọ́n bá nínú ilé ẹ̀yẹn tó dẹ̀ ti ń tarú ẹ̀ tó ti ń tarú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá wá rí irú ẹni yẹn 1,000 they are scattered all around Nigeria tó wá kóru wọn jọ pé ó yá èlò ló máa ná yín láti build the refinery kéréje kó wà káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀ kó ní kálukú fún Nàìjíríà ní idea tó fi build the illegal refinery tiwọn crudely lọ́wọ́ ara wọn kí Nàìjíríà bá wá make owó ńlá available fún wọn tá a ṣe àwọn refineries káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀ arrest yẹn má worry. What we need is your brain. Báwo lẹ ṣe ṣe tá a bá fẹ́ sọ dín láìlò ló máa ná wa níbo la nídìí ilẹ̀ sí tí Nàìjíríà ràn ọ́ lọ́wọ́ tó wá kúkú fẹ̀ lójú ṣá máa pariwo subsidy kiri mọ́ ni a máa rí pé within ti kú of an eye a need láti import epo mọ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nu ká lo brain wọn ni ṣe bí Nigerians ni wọ́n tó bá jẹ́ pé táwọn ẹni yẹn ń refine crudely kì kò ṣe original ni kò dáa ni wọn ní máa rẹ́ni rà ẹ wo agbárí tí máa yẹn lò wọ́n níbi kan tó ti ń refine òun wá build reservoir sínú ilé wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé to the tune of 30-something thousand liters ní petrol kerosene àtàwọn kan mìíràn bá lé ẹ àti diesel ó wá lọ kó àwọn ẹdìyẹ kókòkò ó fi wọ́n ṣe poultry so that ẹ bá débẹ̀ rò pé poultry ló ràn whereas reservoir wà nílé tó ti ń ta epo òun náà lóhùn jẹ national cake tóun báwọn olóṣèlú náà sọ àwọn náà gbọ́ parun wọ́n fi ń fa ẹ̀jẹ̀ lára Nàìjíríà ẹ̀hún náà fẹ́ jẹ ti ẹlẹ́rí yẹn. That is what corruption is causing in this country. Everybody has become criminal. Everybody does not see crime as a big deal anymore. But now look at it. Face everybody has turned virtual. I want a criminal. I want to take. I want to family new. Yes. Into my son here to aggravate the case. Crime money. I don't know. It is illegal. We are not kidnapping anybody. I couldn't imagine. Ṣé àwọn tí wọ́n ń jówó wa kó ṣe ń tán ṣe ojú yìí lọ? Ṣé báwọn kan náà sọ pé we are tired of stealing money. Buhari remove subsidy. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni kan ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. That is why you see them doing this. Now back to Africa. Do you know why we are still remaining poor? Aside from corruption. Àwọn ará bí òṣè mi ò ń gbà mí tá à ń pè ní foreign countries. Owó tó tọ́ sí wa wọ́n á ya. Tẹ́ ẹ bá sọ pé ìlú poor. Will you be going there? Kí náà ṣe nílùú wa nígbà tá a poor? Poor rárá. They are feeding directly on us. And African leaders must wake up. African leaders, it's high time for you people to wake up. And fight common enemy. We don't have any common enemy than the Europeans. Àwọn Europeans ni at Americans. Most especially United States of America. Africans must unite. Empower AU, African Union, over the so-called European Union, over the so-called American Union, over kíni tó tún ṣe àwọn ìjọba àgbáyé. Empower African Union yìí over them. Mà àwọn tó ti yọ kúrò nínú àwọn tó láwọn ò bá wọn ṣe mọ́ sí àjọ àgbáyé àwọn ò bá wọn ṣe mọ́. Torí àṣírí ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wà tú ojú wọn ṣẹ̀ ńlá ni. Àwọn tọmọ Sankara ń gbà yẹn. Àwọn kí náà pé máa yìí ti Libya. Gbogbo orú àwọn yẹn wọ́n yarí nígbà yẹn torí pójú tí wọ́n yẹn ti là. Kí làwọn ti so-called European and America wá ṣe? Wọ́n pa wọ́n dànù lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Torí wọ́n rí pé wọ́n ti fẹ́ liberate Africa. And any attempt for anybody to liberate Africa wọ́n máa fẹ́ mú kúrò lọ́nà ni because ó ṣe ló dàbí pé yẹn máa block ọ̀nà jẹ wọ́n. They are feeding on us directly and they are calling us developing countries. They are saying we are poor whereas they are feeding on us directly. Wọ́n wá láwọn yá wa lówó àwọn fún wa ní grant lórí tí wọ́n kó lọ́dọ̀ wa. Ẹ wo bí ìlú Africa ṣe rí. Ẹ lọ sáwọn countries tí wọ́n kiri. Africans that are supposed to contribute to our labour force. Wọ́n lọ labour fáwọn wọ́n bá wọn build the countries wọn. Ọjọ́ wo ni Dubai bẹ̀rẹ̀? Ẹ wo picture yìí. This is Dubai in 1990. Look at Dubai in 2003. How many years ló wà láàrin 1990 sí 2003? Just 13 years. Within 13 years, Dubai built their country. Why? Because àwọn tí wọ́n ready láti build there, wọ́n kọ́kọ́ ready náà. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì, wọ́n discipline ara wọn pé whatever money we are saving, we want to use it for the development of Dubai. We are not going to embezzle that money. Till tomorrow, wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kán gbówó ńlá kan sílẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà. Kán láwọn fẹ́ develop Nàìjíríà. Àwọn family kan ní ó dowó lówó lọ bíbá. táwa kan máa remain poor. Within 13 years ó lẹ́wọ̀ yẹn o Dubai 1990 sí Dubai 2003 yẹn ẹ tún lọ dé Dubai sí ibi tẹ́ ìgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ ṣìnà. See that picture. Ó tó stage kan wọ́n máa ń sọ pé sí Paris and die tẹ́lẹ̀ it's the most beautiful country in the world. It got to a stage people were convinced that Dubai is the most beautiful city in the whole world and United Arab Emirates is the most beautiful country in the world. Look at it. Wọ́n lọ bá wọn tán ṣe Disney World wọ́n láwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe àwọn yẹn sọ pé rárá Amẹ́ríkà làwọn fún àwọn náà wá padà lọ wọ́n wá lọ ṣe Dubai World. When you get there you bow. Kí ló fi develop ìpayà Ọlọ́run tán ní seriousness tán ní àwọn ọmọ wọn tán ń jẹgun lánàá wọ́n wá ti dọmọ ẹlẹ́ran lẹ́nìí tán ti ń jẹran gbogbo ayé fẹ́ lọ Dubai sí wọ́n sọ bẹ̀ di Mecca tán lọ. Why? Because their leaders are ready. Then they were ready to take the bull by the horn. Láyé Ọbásanjọ́ first tenure gbà yẹn láyé military they came to Nigeria to beg for money. Ọbásanjọ́ pa wọ́n tán ni. Inú yẹ̀pẹ̀ yíhun lẹ́ẹ̀tì rówó san. Lónìí ńkọ́ wọ́n convert yẹ̀pẹ̀ wọ́n convert ẹ̀sìn tí gbogbo yín máa bá wá wò. Ṣé bíbẹ̀ láti kú kówó wa sá lọ? Ṣébẹ̀ ló kówó wa lọ tó lọ establish rẹpẹtẹ síbẹ̀ Dubai àwọn ò develop country wọn làwa ń lọ bẹ̀ kówó jówó kó lọ bẹ̀ mélòó nínú ọmọ Dubai ló jówó kó wá Nàìjíríà yet ẹ tún fẹ́ tún dín dandan àfikẹ́ wa rúlu wa náà ni. So we must face reality. African leaders must reason the way Ghana president reasoned. Even in the president of France president ó ní pé we don't need your intervention. Látọ̀dún tá a ti gba independent must we still be dependent on these so-called European countries? Ká sì máa retí grant látọ̀dọ̀ wọn ká sì máa retí loan látọ̀dọ̀ wọn ká sì máa retí pé kán wá bá wa dá sọ́rọ̀ wa. Ọmọ 60 years tí ò bá rìn ó yẹ kán lọ ṣògùn sí. Ọmọ 60 years tí ò bá lè reason fúnra rẹ̀ ó yẹ kán lọ ṣògùn sí. Ó yẹ kán jáde sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Are we not over 60 years? 1960 to date we are now 63 years. Ọmọ 63 years tí ò lè dá reasoning. It's a pity for this country. Ẹ wo condition tá a ṣì wà. Èló ni dọ́là báyìí? Ṣá lè dá dúró ni? Ṣé a lè dá ṣe ni? Corruption ni ò jẹ́ ẹ̀. Corruption àjẹbánu. Òun ló fà á. Yàtọ̀ sáwọn western countries tó ń ṣe tiwọn yìí. Àwọn leaders wa gan nídìí kan pé wọ́n jókòó kan bá wọn sòdodo ọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn leaders wa wọ́n nídìí kan jókòó kan bá wọn sòdodo ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ wà àwọn yányán guys military. Súnmọ́ òun náà súnkò gírí ló fà á. Kí la fẹ́ fi military rule ṣe? The worst civilian regime is better than the best military regime. Because military regime you have no freedom of speech, you have no fundamental human rights. Ẹ̀mọ́ tábà ṣàfojú wa rí. Better civilian wa náà báwo náà ṣe ṣe sí. Are they with us? Gbogbo àwọn tó ń pè ní European countries kódà China tó bá Nàìjíríà dọ̀rẹ́ tipátipá wọ́n ń ṣọ̀rẹ́ wa ìtọ́ máa jẹ lára Nàìjíríà náà ń wá tó máa jẹ lára Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ń wá. Àwọn márààrún yìí àwọn former president márààrún yìí wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n rí ni wọ́n ṣe mú wọn kúrò lọ́nà. Ẹ wọ àwọn márààrún yìí.
Leaders who refused to be puppets of the West. 5. Thomas Sankara. He was Pan-Africanist who served as president of Burkina Faso from 1983 to 1987. He was assassinated on October 15. 1987. 4. Murtala Mohammed. He was a Nigerian general who led the 1966 Nigerian counter-coup in overthrowing the Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi military regime. 3. Mohammed Gaddafi. He was a Libyan politician and revolutionary who served as the leader of Libya from 1969 until his overthrow and death in 2011. 2. Paul Kagame. He is the fourth and current president of Rwanda. He previously served as a commander of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, a rebel armed force. 1. Kwame Nkrumah. He was a prominent Ghanaian leader and the first prime minister and president of Ghana. He played a crucial role in Ghana's independence.
Àwọn tẹ́ rí àwọn tá yóò lè gbàgbé wọn láíláí pàápàá jùlọ mọ́mọ́ Gaddafi àti Thomas Sankara, àwọn tí wọ́n dúró tí wọ́n bá West wọ nìyẹn, àti Europe àti America wọ́n lo foresight pé bí táwọn arábí ń bá Africa bọ̀ yìí wọ́n máa liberate Africa, and as soon as tá a bá lajú ìbànújẹ́ dé bá wọn. Africa bá ti lajú, tá bá ti lè gbára wa lọ́wọ́ wọn, tá ti lè jọ ṣàṣepọ̀, ìbànújẹ́ máa dé bá West ni. Àkọ́kọ́ náà wọn ò ní free láti wá country wa mọ́. Ẹ wo àwọn tí wọ́n severe ties wọn pẹ̀lú France now. Ojú wọn là ní. Àní kò sí francophone country kankan tó ní central bank tiẹ̀. Wọn ò lápò òfipamọ́ lọ́wọ́ ara wọn, inú àpò France ni. France ló dìtàmí iye tó máa ná, àwọn náà dìtàmí bọ́jẹ́ẹ̀tì wọn, àwọn náà dìtàmí ìgbésí ayé wọn. Ṣé ìgbésí ayé nìyẹn? Arábìnrin kan sọ ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú sí wọn pé the most dangerous country ó ní France jẹ́. Tó bá wá tyrant tó ga, France ni. Know
the truth and nothing but the truth. France remains as a member of the UN Security Council, and yet France today remains one of the biggest perpetrators of human rights violations in Africa. And everybody is giving it, the world is giving it a blind eye. United Nations, it is a body that's supposed to be the watchdog for human rights violations. France remains the biggest risk to peace and security in Africa today, and nobody is talking about it. France did something absolutely deplorable. Made the former colonies, because they still are colonized, sign a document which they called the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. Dig this. On one hand, we're giving you your independence, but on the other hand, sign this document that you are agreeing to continue to be colonized. So two countries said, no way, Jose, we aren't doing this, Guinea and Mali. The French could not understand it. How could an African country dare not want to be affiliated with France? So in their anger, history tells us that they went into those two countries, took everything that they thought they had brought, proceeded to pour concrete into the sewage pipes, completely devastating the two economies. This was also done as a way of letting the other countries know that should you refuse to sign this document, this is the fate that awaits you. So the rest of the countries signed the pact for the continuation of colonization remains in place. What is special about this? The Pact for the Continuation of Colonization said, 1, you shall deposit 85% of your bank reserves with the French Central Bank under the control of the French Minister of Finance. The French government will take all your monies, collectively invest your monies in the French stock market under the French name. And you don't have to know what the returns are. Should you wish to access some of your money, Keep in mind that countries are now left with only 15% of their reserves. You have to submit your country's financial report, and if approved, you get to access up to 20% of your deposits from the previous year as a loan at commercial interest rates. I'm going to repeat that. Should you want to access some of your own money, you have to submit your own country's financial report. And if approved, you get it as a loan at commercial interest rate. So you go from having a humongous credit with France to now owing France for borrowing your own money, a loan that you'll never be able to finish paying. They also said, all your minerals discovered and yet to be discovered, French companies have the first right of refusal. You go to those countries today, all major contracts, French companies have the first right of refusal. The water supply, the power supply, the mining fixtures, the oil rigs, roads construction, airports, French companies have the first right of refusal. If anything is left, the people in your country may get it. They also said, your military can only be trained by France. You can only purchase military equipment from France. France shall have military presence in your country and can invade your country without notice if France feels that her interests in your country are being violated. In the past many years, we've had 67 coups in Africa out of 26 countries. Of the 26 countries, the coups, 16 coups, were 16 countries were former French colonies. To date, 22 African leaders were assassinated during a coup, documented all of them. France was behind it, simply because France felt they were quote-unquote threatening French interests. Countries are still depositing their funds to France, do's and don'ts as stipulated by the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. You have given up your financial resources. You have given up control of your natural resources. You have given up your military. What power do you have? Today, because of the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization, France alone, that little bitty country, is taking out of Africa over $500 billion. Over $500 billion. And by the time they finish investing that money into the French stock market, they're realizing trillions of dollars in any given year. Park that. The watchdogs for corruption are saying out of Africa, 50 billion gets out of the continent from corruption. The question I have is, why has it been so difficult for us as Africans to say enough is enough? How long are we going to keep watching this carnage go on and we say nothing? It goes back to the mind. It goes back to that fear.
You must deposit 80% of your income, of your country's asset, to Bank of France via their Minister for Finance. 85% rather, you'll be only left with 15%. Ontojo and Francophone countries, it's really Africans, this is the time for us to wake up. They will station their own military in Africa. They can take over anytime. They can plan coup anytime. Eboye coup tí wọ́n ní wọ́n ti plan tó jẹ́ pé ó dẹ̀ ti sọ̀ sí tó jẹ́ France ló finance. They can't even train their military in their own country unless you train them in France. They must be trained by France. Are they really independent? No. So mi fi bẹ́ẹ̀ blame ara bí yẹn tí wọ́n bá sọ pé this time around àwọn ti yarí. Document aburú tán ní kan sign yẹn àwọn ti fire. This is the right time for the African leaders to come together and plan for the way forward of this continent. Africans are not poor and we shall never remain poor. We are poor because our colonial masters are feeding directly from us. They are parasites. Wọ́n jẹ direct lábẹ́ wa, wọ́n jẹ direct lára wa. Ìwọ̀nba tó wá fílẹ̀ fáwa náà, corruption ò jẹ́ káwọn aráàlú gbádùn ẹ̀. Corruption kò jẹ́ káwọn aráàlú gbádùn ẹ̀. Àwọn tó jó lórí wa ni they are feeding fat and fat every day. Here we are. Kò sí epo, kò sómi, kò sí iná, kò sí kankan. Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ tiwa. Ọlọ́run bá yọ kúrò ní lọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Tó bá yọ tán, kí lé ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa kó rojú kó ráyè. Because kò yé èdè mọ́ báyìí. And that is the more reason why you see people saying they want to go. Release us and let us go. And I often said it. Pé if things are falling apart now and the center cannot hold, release us, let us go apart. Ọlọ́run ayọ́nu sí wa láyọ̀.
BGI TV yìí mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ ti ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. BGI TV mo fẹ́ máa wò, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ ti ń gbèsè mo fẹ́ gbọ́, ètò lóríṣiríṣi wọ́n wà lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ìròyìn tó kojú òṣùwọ̀n àtàwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àgbọ́ fi kọ́gbọ́n, eré wọlé fún tẹ̀rù tọmọ tèwe tàgbà ẹ má fi para. Àdànà kú kọjá mórí nǹkan fèrè, bàbá rere káwí parí. BGI TV, we are the pace setter. Bàbá gbàgede ìmọ̀ tẹlifíṣọ̀n station tí dòde.